Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building another family home, and this time I am building in the brand new world of San Sequoia, which is of course the new world that we got in the latest expansion pack, which is called Growing Together. So for this house, I basically wanted to do something more on a budget, and I didn't want to do a starter house because I just love interiors, and starter interiors are so sad. And so I decided to give myself a budget of 40,000 simoleons. So you'll notice I'm checking the price of the house throughout the build, trying to make sure that I'm not going over. And I think 40,000 is a good budget for a family who isn't just starting out. Like, it's not a single sim. A single sim gets 20,000 simoleons, and I think it's like, I don't know exactly how many for two, but I imagine this couple has gone through their starter house already. They've maybe lived in an apartment or two. They've had odd jobs, but they've started their careers. They're making decent money now. Not like a lot of money, but they're ready to start their family. So they have a baby on the way. I was going to put a bassinet in the master bedroom, but I ended up putting a crib. So if you do decide to play in this like household that I'm thinking, you may want a bassinet first, because newborns still need the bassinet in The Sims 4, and then when they age up into an infant, then they can have the crib. So just kind of depends on where you want to start in the household exactly, but it just has one bedroom. So I really just wanted it to feel like a really small house. You could probably squeeze in another bedroom if you wanted to, because the bathroom is quite large. Maybe take away a little bit of space from the master bedroom and possibly move the bathroom into the garage space a little bit. You would still have enough room for a garage, I think, but you would still have enough room for the bathroom and a second bedroom. I think it could work. I decided against it just because I wanted to keep this very budget friendly, and I felt like if I added another bedroom, that would just be all the more decorations I would have to include to make it feel fully decorated. So I think this home does feel fully decorated. Like, when I was adding the decorations and like the clutter and the furniture pieces, I really didn't feel like I was missing anything. Like, I was holding back, not adding as much clutter items like on the coffee table or the top of the fireplace or on the kitchen counters. Like, I left it very minimal. It's still like everything your Sims need to have like a fully functioning home, and even a little bit more than that. It feels fully decorated anyways, so I was happy about that. But definitely if I were to play in this home, I would add more clutter pieces as my Sims had more money, just to make it feel more lived in and stuff. But I definitely don't think this family would be in this home for too long. Probably once they started having another kid or something like that. Maybe they could have two kids in this house, especially if you just tried to like build the other bedroom. But I think if they're going to have any larger of a family, they're going to want to upgrade to a larger home. But I had a lot of fun building it anyways. I really enjoyed the limitation, which sounds kind of funny, but it's always kind of fun just to have like some sort of limitation, whether it's with packs or with the budget. It kind of makes you think outside of your normal box basically, and make you do something a little bit different. So I think it looks like one of my typical homes, but it definitely has a little bit of a different feel because it's not so cluttered and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys will like it, but definitely let me know what you guys think. The shape of the house has pretty much came together now. I'm just sort of figuring out the windows, and that was something I was worried I wasn't going to be able to like add enough of, but I think I was able to add enough. And I really like this little side door area over here. This leads into the kitchen, and then it goes out to the side yard. And the side yard was another area that I was positive was going to be pretty empty, and it is, but I think I managed to make it feel full enough, especially with like the landscaping, because if you use the live edit objects plants, they're pretty much all 0 simoleons, I believe. There might be like a few debug ones that cost some simoleons, but I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, the live edit objects ones are mostly free. So yeah, I added an outdoor dining table and then some of the planter beds that came with cottage living because they're really cheap. I think they're only like 10 simoleons a piece, and so that way your Sims can do some gardening, and that would be a great way for them to earn some money if they wanted to upgrade the house, add some more decorations, or even possibly move at some point or build a whole new home in this lot. So I think there's a lot of possibilities with that, and I added 3 of them, which each one can hold 4 separate plants, I believe. of like the smaller plants. And then of course there's like the oversized vegetables that came with cottage living that fit in those. And then I'm sure like a tree or two might fit on one. I've never actually planted a tree, I don't think, in those flower beds. So it might just be one tree. But anyways, I thought that that was nice to include. And then that's it pretty much for the side yard. There's no extra activities because I was getting very close to the budget at that point. But I think it would be easy to add like a barbecue or a swing set later on when your Sims got some more simoleons. But I was looking at some of the outdoor activities and some of them were very expensive. Like I wanted to add like a tree house possibly. That was like a couple thousand simoleons. And then I thought about adding a hot tub and I think that was like 3,000 simoleons. I was like, everything is so expensive in this game. So I decided against it. But anyways, as you can see, I've moved on to the interior and I do decorate the exterior at the end of the video. But for the interior, my main idea, since the exterior I felt like looked kind of modern, I wanted it to feel modern on the interior, but I also wanted to use a lot of stuff that came with the pack. So I incorporated the new couch and the new chair, and I think I managed to make them feel more modern than I think they're supposed to look, especially using it with like the new coffee table and this particular swatch of the rug. I think made it feel more updated and like a more youthful couple lives in this home. And so that's what I was trying to have come across. But I still wanted to use like a lot of the items that came in this pack. So like this dining table and the chairs are new. I do end up using the Parenthood counters again, and I had not wanted to because I just used them in a build, but they were the best ones I felt like, especially for the color scheme that I was going for, because I'm using this orangey wood tone that is pretty dominant throughout the entire pack, but also through other packs. So just really easy to match this particular wood tone. And then the Parenthood counters match perfectly too. So yeah, you'll see that over here in this little kitchen area. And you'll notice that I like kind of look at a few other cabinets. And I thought about using the ones from Dream Home Decorator because those would definitely work too. But I think they're quite a bit more expensive than the Parenthood ones. So these ones, in my opinion, look great. And then they're also cheaper too. And then the stove and the refrigerator that I'm using here came with Growing Together, and they are very expensive. So if your Sims need to save some money, you could definitely downgrade to cheaper ones, but I just wanted to use them so badly. And so I decided just to place them. And then I thought if I really needed to save some money in the end, I could definitely swap them out for something else, but I managed to make them work. And I'm so happy because I love them. And I'm so surprised because I've seen on Twitter that people don't like them. And it's shocking to me because I think they're beautiful. I love both of them. I like them a lot. So yeah, I think this little kitchen area is super cute. And you may have noticed that I was trying to resize the refrigerator, but for some reason the tool mod was acting really weird for me. And I think there was a mini update or something, I believe, before I started my game again. I don't know. I've been so out of touch because I know I've mentioned this in like every video since I started, but I've been cutting back on videos, and so I've been spending like a lot less time like paying attention to everything just because my husband went back to work, and so I'm spending the days with our son, taking care of him and everything. And so I think there was a little update, but maybe that messed with the tool mod. I upgraded it since Growing Together came out, so that's definitely not it. But either way, none of the objects from Live Edit Objects were showing from Growing Together when I tried to search them, and when I tried to type in numbers, it wasn't working. So I re-downloaded it at some point before I started doing the landscaping, and it all seemed to work fine after that. So I don't know what was happening, but I've never really had any issues before. And so that's why I'm placing the mirror like this in this location, because I couldn't type anything in to lower it using the tool mod. So it was very bizarre. I've never had that happen before. So let me know if you guys have had that happen to you as well, because maybe it was just something to do with like the update or something. I don't know. But anyways, over here is the bathroom. So as you can see, the bathroom is a pretty good size. So you could probably make it a little bit smaller, bring it into the garage space a little bit, and then squeeze like a smallish bedroom in here somehow. I think it's totally possible, but like I said, I really wanted to stick to my budget. So adding another bedroom would be another room to fill, whereas adding the nursery and master bedroom together, I could just add a couple of things in here. And so I probably could have just added the bassinet like I was talking about earlier, because that would be make more sense if the Sim is about to have a baby. And it would also be more budget friendly because I ended up adding a changing table along with the crib. But this is the bassinet that I would have chose because it's really cute and it's new with the update, and I haven't used it yet. But I decided that I wanted to use the infant stuff more, so I added a changing table along with the trash can that attaches to it. That way the diapers go in there. And then I also added the pack and play style crib in here. And I really like that. Your Sims should be able to put that in their inventory, I would guess, because I mean, that's kind of like the whole idea of a pack and play, is you can pack it and take it with you. And then I was also going to use this new dresser that came with the expansion pack. I really like the style of it and I think the size is great, but since I was putting that crib over there, I decided to move it, and I didn't think it looked that great where I was going to place the dresser. So I decided just to put a toy in the corner instead and just make this like a whole little like infant area. And then of course the other side of the room has the infant stuff too. And then I used this dresser instead that came with Dream Home Decorator because it matches the wood tones perfectly. And then I just add like a couple of decorations on top of it, some cheaper ones just to make it feel fully decorated, but again, not too expensive or too like overly decorated, just to continue with the theme of the house. And then there I just added a little basket of toys, which I think is such a cute little decoration. So I was happy to have that, and I think this room just feels so cozy and like lived in and everything. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And then over here is going to be the garage space. So honestly, if you didn't want the garage, you could turn this into a bedroom too, and you could have your family live here for like a really long time because there would be lots of space for several different Sims. So that's totally a possibility too, but I love having garages, especially in this world, because so many of the like world houses, like the non-playable ones, have driveways and cars in them, and plus like these craftsman style homes just look more realistic with a garage, but you could totally switch it up if you would like to. But in here, it's pretty simply decorated. I put a car in here, some tires, and some like clutter pieces. You could easily put a washer and dryer in here if you wanted to have something a bit more functional, or like a woodworking table. But since I was keeping the budget down, I decided just to use mostly live edit objects just to keep it nice and cheap. But here I've moved on to the exterior again to finish off the landscaping and also decorate this front porch. I put a couple of rocking chairs with this new little coffee table, side table decoration that we got with the update, and I thought that looked really nice here. And then for the landscaping, like I said earlier, I mostly used a lot of plants to fill in the space, and they're all live edit objects ones just to keep them nice and cheap. And then I did use a fence, which the fence is probably pretty expensive. Here in a moment, yeah, I opened up the tab so I can keep an eye on the budget. It didn't make me go over the budget using the fence, and I totally thought it would, and it just makes the house feel so much more complete. But honestly, if you needed to save some money, the fence is totally not necessary, and you could probably use a live edit objects one, but the problem with that is Sims tend to walk through them. I think in some of the most recent expansion packs or packs that the Sims team have made them like not invisible to the Sims, and so they can actually like walk around them rather than through them. So that's been pretty cool because I really like using the free fences. But I thought this one looked so perfect, and the wood tone was also perfect. But there I placed the planter beds, and then for the patio space I decided to use terrain paint just to keep it really cheap again. And then I added this tree, which I thought this tree was pretty perfect because it matches the environment along with the palm tree. You can see those in the surrounding neighborhoods. And then I added this nice little tree with like the red flowers. I thought that was pretty cute, and I think it came from Cottage Living. But yeah, I just thought it brought some more color and variety into the landscaping. But other than that, I have like some blue hydrangeas and some yellow flowers and stuff like that. But here I'm trying to pick out a table. I wanted to have something here on this patio space. And so I just find a table and chairs, and I use a live edit objects umbrella just to add a bit more detail. But that's going to be it as far as like activities out here. No barbecue because they're very expensive, and the cheap ones would just look, I don't know, too out of place. So they can just make a meal inside and bring it out here to eat if they would like to. And then you could of course add some like toys and stuff as the Sims have some more money and things like that. But here I'm going to add some terrain paint, pretty simple terrain paint, but yeah, I think it looks really good, and it definitely finishes off the house for me and adds that little bit of extra detail. But anyways, that's it for the build. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope you guys do enjoy the screenshots. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
In the morning when you walk away, my heart drops to the floor. They said it would get easier, but I don't know who for. Days move faster now, I swear. I can feel them slip